We're gonna start resurrecting Project Rusty, this 1-ton animal behind me. I'll flip the camera so you can see it. 1988 Chevy 1-ton. It's gonna handle my trailer a lot better than what the Avalanche has. You can see it. My daughters named it Rusty. It's got, you know, the usual cab corner rust, a couple spots there. A little bit on the roof. That's enough for the girls to name it that. Good enough. This is it. I've had this truck for a few years. I put the tail lights in. I put a roll pan on the back. But she has no motor, no transmission. And we're going to fix that. The motor decided it wasn't happy anymore and it ate the bearings out, and we had to pull it out. The transmission I pulled out and used in the Gold Digger, my race car. So, yes, it's time to have something a little better to pull the trailer with. So we're gonna start this. Got four wheels like this. Gonna have brand new tires on them. Not like that. And then put a motor and transmission in this thing. I still have the original transmission, which I used in the race car for a little bit, like I said. A little bit in the interior. Let's go see how we're gonna get that. This is the parts truck I picked up for it. It is a 93 Chev 2500. Got a couple good things going for it. Not the body, it's kind of rusty and dented and worse than the other one actually. So we're gonna take the good parts. One nice thing about this one is it has a full floating rear differential in it. The 1-ton, surprisingly, only has a semi-floating. So we're going to change that around because the full floating is way better for hauling with. And this one of the big reasons why I bought it, other than the diff, is what's under here. So we decided to put a big block in Rusty. By we, I mean me. You guys helped a little bit when I posed a question on Facebook. I had a whole pile of different answers. I decided to go for brute torque and throw away fuel economy because it pulls a trailer anyways, so whatever. So we're gonna yank this engine out. There's a few other pieces on this truck that I'm gonna use. We're gonna add some parts to this thing to give it even more grunt than what it already has. I'll show you those along the way. Step one, obviously getting this big piece of crap out of here and cleaning it up. Another nice thing on this, the front bumper is actually straight on this one. It is not on the other truck, so we're probably gonna swap that around. There's all kinds of things as I'm doing this. Everything's interchangeable, which is nice. So as I find more things I want to swap, we'll do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I already disconnected the battery. I'm going to rip it out. It still seems to be good, so I'm going to keep that because I don't think I have one for Rusty. And then we're going to start ripping a bunch of stuff off the top of the motor so I can get down and chain onto it. Rip the rad and everything out so that we have more clearance to pull the motor out, and then we'll go underneath and disconnect a bunch of stuff under there, and we will go from there. All right, let's get to work. All right, you can see I've removed the hood. I've removed all the crap from the top of this motor, the intake and all that kind of stuff, so I can actually get to bolt holes to actually lift and remove this thing. The intake manifold bolt holes are more than strong enough. And remove the intake because I am not sticking with the fuel injection on this. What we are putting on, I'll show you later when we actually get around to that part. So, because yeah, that is about 60-70 pounds of cast iron I don't want to deal with. So we'll put something else on there. And as for throttle body injection, I absolutely hate it. I think it is the worst thing GM ever came out with. So we'll put something different on here. Alright, so that's where we are at the moment. Got the rad, the fan, all that kind of stuff out of the way. And got everything undone from the top, so it's time to go underneath and sort stuff under there. All right, we have this monstrosity out of that truck. Now, we got a little bit of stripping to do before we get it on an engine stand, mainly all this back here. And then we have a lot of cleaning to do, as per usual, before I start bolting anything half nice onto it. So this thing is going to have a lot of grunt to pull that truck and trailer with the race car in it. That'll be nice. No more having to rev the shit out of a motor to make the hills. The 5.3 does really, really well, don't get me wrong. But my trailer and truck, my trailer and race car and everything inside there is too heavy for it. As it let me know, if you guys follow me on Facebook, Shattered Dreams Racing, the diff recently exploded. And that's giving me a little more reason to get this project going. So I got a lot of work to do. First thing we're going to do is rip off, like I said, the bell housing and the clutch and all that kind of stuff is coming off, because we're going to make it up to a Turbo 400, which is going to be, the other truck's made for that already. This one was a standard. Big 5-speed standard in there with the bull low and the overdrive. It's kind of nice, but third gears synchros are gone, so yeah, it's not really an option. So yes, clean up, remove some stuff off. Got the engine stand sitting over there. We'll get it on that, and we will have to do a whole pile of disassembling and cleaning. All right, there we go. She's out. She's on the engine stand. She needs a lot of degreasing and a lot of disassembly. The thing we're keeping on this is just the short block and maybe the front accessory drive, because it's a serpentine setup, but we'll see if we can make that look a little nicer first. This is known as your Gen 5 big block Chevy. You can tell because it's got the cast aluminum valve covers with the 454 right on them. Nice thing about that is they do better gasket sealing than the old stamped tin crap. These ones obviously getting extremely old and brittle gaskets inside them. These also have the little baby peanut port heads on them. That's what everybody calls them. This gasket is the original old school Chevy oval port gasket. This is the baby tiny peanut port. So these are about the worst big block Chevy head. There's still guys that can make some pretty decent power out of them. Especially down low, because of the small port, you get good velocity in through there. One of the perks, couple perks of these motors: one piece rear main seal. Seals a lot better than the old Mark IV 2-piece rear main seal. Two, all of these motors came with a 4-bolt main, so way stronger down there. The differences between these and one of the ways to identify one of these compared to the other ones: one, the stamped cast aluminum valve covers; two, the peanut port heads; three, throttle body injection. That's all Gen 5 stuff. Some of the upgrades, if you go to the Gen 6 block, this one still has flat tappets. The Gen 6 will actually have a roller lifter, which is one of the upgrades there. They will also have better heads and the Vortec fuel injection on top of it. But I couldn't find one of those. I found one of these. The only thing I'm keeping is the short block on this, because one, those tiny little peanut port intake, I don't like that. I want more. But this is what I could find. I have some parts to do this. We'll see if we can dress this up a little bit and get rid of some of their really extremely stupid braces that Chevy put on there. And yeah, you'll have to follow along on the next video as we do something a little different with this. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.